I, you know that thing they say, I am a worthless sinner. I fall far short of Christ. And it's like the more they say that, the better they are somehow. Because Christianity institutionalized guilt as a virtue. Proselytize that. Fuck all that garbage. The other day, somebody said, uh, the truth is supposed to make you uncomfortable in your sin. But if you were to ask them what a sin is, they would tell you the same other stuff that everybody's been telling each other is wrong. It's it's all garbage. It's just keeping people away from their own true nature, like slaves, because ignorance is a slave. Some people think knowledge is a prison. Mm-mm. It's a prism. Some people will actually plug their ears when you try to tell them about something that actually makes more sense than what they believe, but understandable because some people's beliefs are built on sand. And if you don't give them something better to believe in, they're going to freak out. Yep. Well, anyway, I'll leave you with this. I don't know if you're actually watching or not. I don't really care. Just thought I'd say this in case you were watching, because I find all this interesting. Why wouldn't I? So many people wanted me not to be interested. I would ask questions, and they'd be like, you ain't supposed to be wondering. Well, my fucking name is Ponder. What do you want me to do about it? They never had an answer to that. Ponder that. So yeah, everybody's been taught to be obedient to their outer world. Like, you ain't supposed to do that. You can't say things like that, or you can't do that. It's cringe. Hey, no, you're being unrealistic with your hopes and dreams. But words really are power. If they weren't, nobody would give up on their hopes and dreams because somebody called them stupid, right? I think I want to own a horse ranch one day. Huh, that'll never happen. Only one in a million people smart enough to own horses, and that ain't you. You're right. I'll just work at Walmart for 50 years. There you go. Now you're being realistic. Anyway, eventually, after you have been obedient to your outer world for long enough and they get you into enough trouble, eventually you crash through every floor of all that you know, down, down, down to the cold, cracked, smooth, wet concrete floor at the bottommost level of your heart. And you find all you really have is what you believe. At which point you find you done hit that floor with such force, everybody else's bullshit beliefs are ejected from you. They always said I was hard-headed. I had to hit that floor so many times. I wanted to believe them though. I thought believing their horse shit would make me feel less alone. I was wrong. What made me feel alone was ignoring the truth that I felt in here. That's what made me feel alone. Even though there's people all around me all the time. People that would be happy to talk with me anytime, but I couldn't I couldn't accept that with how I was looking at everything. I don't know if any of this is making any damn sense to you at all. It will one day. I believe in you. Proselytize that. and ain't nobody ever put a fucking Bible in my hand again. I'll take it, and then I'm gonna burn it. I ain't touching one ever the fuck again. I always knew something was wrong with it. Distorted, bad. You know, a lot of people talk about getting that patriarchal blessing. They've got to get a blessing from a man. I bless myself. God bless God. How does that make you feel? You still thinking I'm delusional? Well, that's fine. To each their own. I am not responsible for other people's illusions, only for my own. Did I already say I was gonna? Yeah, well, I got excited, so we'll continue the video. So, who gives a fuck about delusion when, like, I don't even think about that word except because you said it. The real delusion is staying in a teeny tiny little fucking box because somebody said, hey, you ain't supposed to stand tall and proud of who you are. Whoa, you're being too confident. That's not right. Whoa, you mean you're believing in yourself? That's weird, man. When we were growing up, everybody said you ain't supposed to believe in yourself. You know how they said, uh, for I don't know how many years, all throughout growing up, people would say, you ain't supposed to love yourself because that's narcissistic. Some damn lies. Because why would you hate yourself anyway? Probably from picking up other people's bullshit ideas. I don't have to deal with that anymore. Is that delusional? To be at peace? I reject delusion. Maybe that's why nobody comes to hang out with me. They like their sweet little lies. They lie to themselves. Talk about obedient. You know that trick they pulled with the Bible? It works both ways. Stringing along the followers, keeping them from their true nature, from actually expressing their true free will, leading them to stay in the prison of guilt and shame. Forgot where I was going with that, but a little story I like to tell. One day, somebody came up to me with their chains, polished chains, and they said, here, these are for you. I said, no thanks. They said, why not? I said, do they float? They frowned. Because if they don't float, they no good for fishing. And I walked away with my hands in the clouds. Toodaloo, walking on air. They can't do that. They still weighed down with other people's bullshit. Oh yeah, it was a powerful trick. You could call it a spell. You know, because words are power. Again, I said words are power because you know they are. Because if they weren't, nobody would ever tell you to shut up. Nobody would ever give up on their hopes and dreams because somebody called them stupid. Now, what is strength? Somebody calls your hopes and dreams stupid, and you say, I'll do what I want, motherfucker. Not to other people. just what my heart tells me to. Ain't nobody can follow my heart but me anyway. Is that delusional? Well, that's fucked up. Oh God, he's listening to his own heart. You ain't supposed to do that, son. But it says in the fucking book, the kingdom of heaven is within. I've been trying to understand how people have gotten so confused. Anyway, the trick they pulled with it, with that book, keeping people away from their own divinity. I imagine you don't know what that feels like, because you haven't really shown me that you know what it feels like. You'll get there one day. I believe in you. Sorry, bad jokes. I do believe in you, though. But I feel no guilt for my bad jokes. I actually feel wonderful about my jokes because I have toned them down big time. My jokes used to be fucking gnarly. And I was just trying to have fun, you know. Other people make bad jokes, so I'll join in. And I make a bad joke, but they really feel it. And they're like, oh. I'm like, damn, I'm sorry. So I toned it down. Sometimes somebody will say something nasty to me online, and I'll I'll be saying stuff with them back and forth. We'll be kind of sharp and harsh towards each other, you know. And then I'll start thinking we're playing a game. Sometimes I'll think they're actually like we're playing a game because you know that's how a lot of guys are. Like that whole connection through humiliation thing or whatever it's called. And I keep poking at them and poking at them, and they're poking at me, and eventually they'll get to where they're saying the same thing over and over and over, and I just get more intense and more intense, but I mean it playfully, and then I'm like, ah, shit, I actually hurt their feelings. Oops, ain't nothing you can do about it sometimes. Oh yeah, and that trick they pulled with the Bible, keeping people away from their own full stature. Those people, they go around spewing the most piss poor notion of what they call God, proselytizing, like you said. So hey, you can't do that; it's a sin. It's, you can burn in the helly place. Been there, done that. Hey man, you want to burn? Nah, been there, done that. That was boring. And if that don't make you feel funny, I'm sure it'll make somebody feel weird. Whatever. No. So that trick they pulled, followers telling everybody else that they're gonna burn for this, burn for that, and God hates that, and God hates this, but God is love. So none of that makes any damn sense. And so all these other folks have is just a poor idea of what they call God, a distorted idea. So anytime somebody says God, they go, ugh, and they get turned away from their own full stature as well. Yeah, my headphones turned off. It distracted me. Anyway, that's enough of this. They did what the Bible worked so well. Turned everybody away from their full stature, from their true being. is the people that follow it, they're afraid to stand at their full stature. And then they taught everybody else that God was some kind of shit idea. And they don't like that. So anything that has anything to do with being at your full power, they don't like that either. It's weird. Good trick. Do you want to hear something really weird? I don't know if it was me that pulled that trick a long time ago.